believe that he created our solar system and that other solar systems exist. Why do we believe this? Because we can see them. We believe in other stuff too. You believe the sun's going to rise every morning. You believe the cars are going to start. You believe the doors are going to open. Why do you believe this? Because you've seen it with your own eyes. But how do you believe in something, even trust something that you can't see with your eyes? Just because you can't see something with your eyes doesn't mean it isn't there. God exists, and there are many pieces of evidence that support this. You may be wondering, I was just talking about trust, and now I'm talking about does he exist? But if you don't believe in him, then you definitely won't trust him. So let's look at creation, and more importantly, different takes on it. Creation is the biggest what if that religions try to answer. How we came to be. Let's look at what the Bible says. The Bible says that God created everything in detail. He designed everything exactly how it needed to work to keep us alive and to keep this world, and more importantly, this entire universe running. Now, other religions may try to explain this in different ways. I personally don't see how that's possible, because creation, in its wonderful creative beauty, could not have been an accident. Our bones, and muscles, brains, and hearts are all designed specifically to work to keep us alive, and that cannot be an accident. We believe in an all-powerful creator who made everything, and proof of that is all around us. Why is it that the planets are aligned perfectly so none of them collide with each other or basically destroy the entire universe? How is it that we get the exact amount of sunlight we need to stay alive but not be burnt to a crisp or freeze to death? None of this is an accident. But how can we trust him? The entire universe is kept in balance by one God. So if he's all-powerful and can balance the entire universe, don't you think he can handle your one problem, your one relationship, your one debt, that one grade? There's no reason he won't help you whenever you need him. All you have to do is trust him to help you. No one is above help from God, and not a single person in this entire world doesn't need help. Because everyone has problems in their life, mountains, that you can't climb on your own. But you don't have to. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Not all things except getting to that college, or a few things through him. All things through him. Many people want a sign that God exists. If I could just see him one time, I believe in him. Look around you. You can see him in everything. Human beings are created in God's image. He created everything in the entire universe. And if you think your problems are bigger than God, take a step back and look. Here, I have a golf ball. Now let's pretend that this golf ball's Earth. So here on Earth, we have 7.5 billion people. So somewhere on here is you and your friend sitting in your chairs. Now, Earth is massive compared to us, but it is insignificant compared to the other things that God's created. So remember, somewhere on here, this isn't you, this is Earth, the entire planet. So somewhere on here is little tiny you. So if the Earth was the size of the golf ball, the sun would be 15 feet in diameter. Now that might not mean anything to you. Some of you are probably like, what's diameter? But if the Earth was the size of a golf ball, the sun would be 1 million Earths. That is enough golf balls to fill an entire school bus with golf balls. Is that not big enough for you? Let's move on to another one. There's a star in our galaxy called Betelgeuse. It is 2 times the size of Earth's orbit around the sun. So if the Earth was the size of this golf ball, you could fit 262 trillion Earths inside Betelgeuse. Now again, I'm sorry if you don't know what trillion is, okay? That's really not my problem. Enough golf balls to fill an indoor football stadium. Not once, not twice, but 3,000 times. Still not big enough? I don't know. Another star in our galaxy, Musifi. I have no idea if I'm saying it. I'm really guessing here. If Earth was the size of a golf ball, Musifi would be the width of 2 Golden Gate bridges, end to end. Musifi could hold 2.7 quadrillion Earths. That's a lot. God could have stopped here. He could have gone, wow, I'm pretty great. I can make a lot of really cool stuff. But he didn't stop there. He made another one. Canis Majoris, diameter of about 1.7 billion miles. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So if that's 1 mile, once you take that 1 mile that you can imagine, and then 1.7 billion of those. So I'll just let you process that for a second. So, that distance is about 8 to 9 times the distance from the Earth to the Sun. If the Earth was this golf ball, Canis Majoris would be the height of Mount Everest. So I want you to imagine, you go to Mount Everest, you take your golf ball, and you put your golf ball down right in front of Mount Everest, and you just take a step back. And you realize how awesome God is and what he can do. Now, remember, this golf ball is not you. This is the Earth. So, somewhere on here is you out of 7.5 billion people on Earth. So if the Earth is that much bigger than us, Canis Majoris is that much bigger than Earth, and God is that much bigger than all of it, how can we not trust him? Canis Majoris isn't even the largest star in our galaxy. There are bigger ones. We can trust God. But what is trust? Trust is not an emotion. It's an action. It's a choice that we make every day. Trusting God is an action that translates into obedience. When we give him our problems, we don't just hope for the best. And we kind of fingers crossed, oh God, I really hope you help me out here. No. We believe with absolute certainty that he'll help us and obey his command to trust him. You have the choice to trust God every time you encounter a problem. You can try and take it on your own, or you can give it up to God and say, God, I can't do this alone, but with you, I know I can. So what does trust look like every day? Every day, you can trust God. And it doesn't have to be something huge. Driving to school this morning, you can trust God that you'll get here safely. Your relationships with friends, you can trust that we maintained. It doesn't have to be huge. You can choose to trust God every day, and anyone can do it. If you don't believe me, look around your class. Look at your peers. There's always at least one person, probably more, that don't seem worried about the future, about the unknown, because they know that they're not in it alone. They know that God is up there and around us, watching out for us. So they have absolute trust in God. This is trust. It sounds difficult, but you just need to realize that while alone you can't, with God you can. The key to trust is humility and obedience. Knowing that you don't have the strength to do it alone, and truly believing God when he says, I got this. Because he does. We all need help sometimes, and God is the best provider for it. So if you still don't believe in God, you still want to see him, you just did. He's everywhere. In everything. You saw him through creation. You saw him when the sun rose this morning. You can see him in your peers. Look to your right. Look to your left. God is everywhere in everything. God created everything beautiful and good. All things that come from him are good. So if God produces all good, doesn't that mean he'll produce all good in your life if you trust him? You can trust him because he's never failed and he won't start now. As long as the sun's shining, he'll be there for you. When you allow God to step into your life, your problems become the size of a golf ball.